Hi, it's Uncle JJ trying to get the phone there, so everything. I'm really not sure what I want to do. Voodoo, voodoo. I think that's how you say it. The purification, Islam purification before prayer. I was looking that up in the Quran. And in the Quran, it says that if there is no clean water, you can use earth to purify yourself. Here's the question. Suppose you're at that very moment of complete dehydration. I know this is, perhaps off the wall kind of thinking, but just suppose it's time to pray and there is clean water, but you haven't had any water to drink in as long as it takes for a human being before collapsing, and however that is, dying, passing from dehydration. It's clean water. It's time to pray. Do you use the water to purify yourself, or do you drink it to nourish yourself? It says that God didn't do these things. It isn't saying about the steps of purification, isn't doing it to make things difficult for you. So certainly, right? Certainly at that moment of complete dehydration, it's a hypothetical, please don't start getting all like aggravating and throwing out. This is the hypothetical question. Which is more important, your survival or the purification? I was looking in the Quran about, I'm an old dude. My next birthday, I'll be 70 years old. I'm an old dude. But there are certain things that are just only now at this point in my life becoming clear to me, or even understanding them at all, or being aware of them even. The Lunar New Year. The Lunar New Year, and it's based on, and it dates back to Chinese, and I know Islam's very involved with the phases of the moon, but I don't know a lot, But I'm just curious about this Lunar New Year, which brought me into looking into the Quran about the phases of the moon, which brought me into the idea of fasting and Ramadan, and which brought me into the idea of pilgrimage and all of this. And then when I'm reading the pilgrimage, it culminates in the sacrificial animals. But we don't have sacrificial animals anymore, do we? I don't think anywhere on earth that would be allowed. So that kind of confused me, because I'm reading these things, these different aspects of the phases of the moon and its effect on us and on the faith. But the clarity is sort of lost when I get to the point of sacrificial animals. It's like, well who is this being written to? But I can't help but think that a lunar new year, if it's phases of the moon, then the lunar new year has got to be significant, is what I think. Excuse me. And I only just found out about this the last couple of days, the lunar new year, and it says it's always, what's it say? It's always between the end of January and the mid-February, but it's not specific, so I'm intrigued by that as well. But I think it's significant. But you know where I wound up in this whole train of thought that I was going through this morning? What is the place where Mecca is it? What is that called? That box thing that they go to, that the pilgrimages to? Kubra? My apologies. I don't know these things. I should have looked it up, but I don't know. But what I do know about that place is that it's only available to Muslims. I do know that. And I do know that when I read in the Quran, that place, that sacred area, is for all mankind. And I do know that the Quran was sent down for all of humanity. These things I do know. I just can't remember the name of that. I've seen so many pictures of it. You know what I'm talking about, where they circle around. That area is supposed to be for all people, just as the Quran is for all people. I haven't figured anything out about the phases of the moon, but I'm still learning. I hope you're all well. Treat each other with respect, please. Peace.